Oh, louder than that for Trey. Come on, this is Trey Norman, people. Yes, let's go.
Appreciate the introduction. Appreciate it, absolutely. We're gonna have some fun, right?
Oh, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Everybody do make sure he got his handle right up there. Make
All
sure
of
you're
that.
following him on
Instagram,
social media.
Twitter, all that good stuff. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a little fun. Appreciate the introduction, Steve. You know, it's time to take it away. So what I need to do is, I need everybody, if you're sitting down right here, I need you to stand up. We about to get into this. We about to take it to the next level. You sitting down, I need you to stand up because we about to take this to the next level. So let me just break this down for you. When I was at orientation, y'all heard the I'm a Rebel song, and that was cool, but that was a warm-up. I'm gonna be real with you. That was a warm-up because when I dropped my album UNLV, I got this song on there called Mr. UNLV, and they wrote an article about me and said I'm Mr. UNLV, so it's only right that I do this song right here. So we about to take it to the next level. Can I do that for y'all? Can I take it to the next level? You know, so all right, let's get this thing started right now. Let's go. Let's get into it. Hey, how we feeling over here? On the right side, how we feeling? Left side, how we feeling? Okay. Look, we about to get into it. Look, when I came, I wasn't trying to be involved. Look, I ain't wanna be, that was my problem to solve. All I used to do was go to class and ball. And when I leave the gym, I say hi to them all. I was meeting people left and right like the hands, but I'm trying to bust a move, yo, I'm trying to dance. When life give you lemons, you gotta make lemonade, and make a fortune that you stand. So I can't waste no time. Nah, I'ma taste this grind, I'ma make this mine. So I gotta get it, I'ma never quit it. I'ma paint a picture, make it vivid, put my art in an exhibit. First masterpiece was a speech, I ain't yapping. Com 101, second place, I was snapping. Graduated from the public speaking to performing. Now I'm on the stage and I'm rapping, everybody wave. Look, it was only a matter of time before I got it cracking. Look, I'm Mr. UNLV. Yeah, I made it happen. Look, can I keep it real? I already feel like it's done. You can bet the bank on me. Look, 4, 3, 2. I'm feeling like the one. Look, everybody hands up on the left side. Say I'm feeling like the one. Yeah, I'm feeling like the one. I'm feeling like the one. Look, yeah, I said it. I'm feeling like the one. Yeah, I'm feeling like the one. Listen, look. Some of y'all ain't gonna like this. Everybody can't do it like this. But we all different, so you gotta play your own role. You ain't gotta do it like this. Some of y'all looking for the plug. Some of y'all thinking that is right here. I'm just trying to generate buzz and prolong it for some light years. Cause I can't get these days back. When I'm old, I'll be thinking way back to the college days. So I'm running plays, trying to elevate to the next level in the maze. You ain't gotta do it my way. We in different lanes if we on the highway. But one thing that is true for me and for you is this time fly away. One more time, look. It was only a matter of time before I got it cracked. I'm Mr. UNLV. Yeah, I made it happen. Listen, can I keep it real? I already feel like it's done. You can bet the bank on me. I'm feeling like the one. Everybody hands up. You heard me. You heard me. So I'm feeling like the one. Look, yeah, I'm feeling like the one. Yeah, yeah. So I'm feeling like the one. You heard me. So I'm feeling like the one. Yeah, I'm feeling like the one. I'm feeling like the one. Let that beat rock. Look, right side just bob your head to the beat like yeah. Left side just bob your head to the beat like yeah. Listen, one more time. I'm feeling like the one.
Rebels take chances and inspire action. Rebels are daring and diverse, curious and creative. Rebels are different, and in our differences, we come together. To discover, to innovate, to succeed in a community like no other. We are UNLV. We are Rebels, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Now, please welcome back your MC for UNLV Creates, Trey Norman.
See, that's a warmer welcome than the first time, so I appreciate that. But how y'all doing? Can I get a good morning? How y'all feeling? That's what I'm talking about. So, all right, I'm gonna just give y'all the rundown of what's going down today. So, I want to officially welcome you on behalf of the UNLV community to the 5th annual UNLV Creates. Y'all make some noise for that. This is the 5th time that we doing it like this, 5th time, big deal. Big deal, because they say once you do it more than 3 times, it's official. So we official, y'all the 5th time that we doing this. And I want you to know, being a rebel, this is a part of that experience. It's a lot of cool things that are gonna happen. And on top of that, what we got planned here today is gonna highlight, you can get a glimpse of what it means to be a rebel and the cool things that we got happening here. You're gonna get to hear from some faculty, renowned faculty or whatnot. So with that being said, all this talking, let's give a big round of applause for our amazing faculty and staff as they make their way to the floor right now. Let's do that.
UNLV Administration, led by Dr. Carl Reiber, Senior Vice Provost. Student Affairs, led by Dr. Warnita Fain, Vice President for Student Affairs. Academic Success Center, led by Dean Ann McDonough. Lee Business School, led by Dean Brent Hathaway. College of Education, led by Dean Kim Metcalf. Hughes College of Engineering, led by Dean Rama Venkat. College of Fine Arts, led by Dean Nancy Usher. Honors College, led by Dean Marta Miana. Greenspun College of Urban Affairs, led by Dean Robert Ulmer. College of Liberal Arts, led by Dean Christopher Heavey. School of Nursing, led by Associate Dean Rebecca Benfield. School of Allied Health Sciences, led by Dean Ronald Brown. School of Community Health Sciences, led by Dean Sean Gerstenberger. William F. Hara College of Hotel Administration, led by Dean Stowe Shoemaker. College of Sciences, led by Dean Eric Chronister. University Libraries, led by Associate Dean Pat Hawthorne. Graduate College, led by Dean Kate Corrigan.
Y'all keep clapping for him. Keep clapping for him. Great job. Absolutely. So I just want to give a big thank you to the UNLV University crowd. That was good. Can y'all clap for him one more time, please? My God. Right. You know, I hear singing their hearts out or whatnot, but all right, we got that taken care of. We got the faculty and the staff seated. Could y'all give one more round of applause for the faculty and the staff? These are the folks you're gonna be with for this next few years on this journey or whatnot. So that's great. But in the meantime, will you please join me in welcoming to the stage Dr. Carl Reiber, our Senior Vice Provost. Make some noise for him, please.
Let's hear it for Trey. He's the #1 UNLV supporter. So, all of you are starting at UNLV today, the fall entering class of 2017. Good morning. All right. So let's try that again. Good morning. There you go. I welcome you to UNLV. You're starting a chapter in your life that's exciting, vibrant, and will transform where you are in life and where you go in life. And so I welcome you. Today's celebration brings to you what we find special about UNLV. This is the 5th annual UNLV Creates. It has grown every year. And every year we try to find some surprise for you. And so we want you to stick around because this is going to be a special event this morning. And in addition to UNLV Creates, you are also celebrating the 60th anniversary of UNLV. We're 60 years young. And so you'll see some activities that go on this fall semester celebrating UNLV 60th anniversary, and please make sure that you engage in those activities. They'll be a lot of fun and really show the history of the institution, how you fit in, and the specialness of you and UNLV and Las Vegas. So today's program, I want to set the stage a little bit. We want you here engaged in UNLV for the next 4 years. We want you not only to be taking classes, working with our outstanding faculty and graduate students, working with each other, getting a university experience. We want you to see what goes on at a research university. And so today you're going to get a glimpse of that. We have 4 really great people who are going to talk about their activities on campus, their research and scholarship. And I think you'll find from their excitement that you will be energized, and as you move through UNLV's programs, you're going to seek out our faculty, not just as instructors, but as scholars, because UNLV has a very special aspect to it. We want you to work with our faculty to create new knowledge, to create new programs, to be involved in what universities are all about. And so we have people coming today to talk about that and share that excitement and that energy with you. So today's a new start for you. We have mostly undergraduates here, but some graduate students. You're coming from other institutions. You're joining the Rebel family. What we want you to do is feel the energy, the excitement, and the academic pride that we have as an institution. And so today celebrates your new beginning as UNLV students and budding scholars. Welcome. And now what I would like to do is turn the mic over to Christopher Royce, your student body president, and Alexis Chelbe, director of programming for UNLV Rebel Events, to offer their welcome from the student body.
Thank you, Dr. Evan. Appreciate it. Very good. Very good.
What's going on, UNLV class of 2021? Put your hands together for yourselves. I'm really excited to be here. It's so cool seeing all of you here. My name is Christopher Royce. I'm the undergraduate student body president here at UNLV under an organization called CSUN, that's CSUN, Consolidated Students of the University of Nevada. That's your student government. So just remember that for 4 years. You don't have to come over, just know who we are. First of all, what an amazing accomplishment for you all right now, for you here today. This is something that will impact you for the rest of your life. This is a journey that you're embarking upon, which is of personal growth, maturation, fulfillment. Just be really proud of yourselves. This is your day. This is about you today. So just remember that. Here at UNLV, we like to have fun. We like to ensure that our college experience is not only engaging, fulfilling, and intellectually stimulating, but I also want you to remember that you will have your share of challenges. You will have obstacles that you'll have to overcome. You will have many great successes. You might have a failure here and there, but that's okay because you have a support system around you. Look to your left and right. You have friends, you have family, you have faculty, professors, people like Dr. Reiber. You have your student government, academic coaches. You have such a great support system here. So just remember that you're not alone. You are part of the Rebel family now. UNLV is the second most diverse campus in the universe. I'm sorry, not in the universe, maybe. As far as we know, that's the truth. We are the second most diverse campus in the United States. Our community, yeah, put your hands together for that. Be proud of that. We have people from all walks of life, from every corner of the globe, from almost every possible, imaginable background. They are here at UNLV, whether they're graduates or undergraduates. A great president, John F. Kennedy, once said that the problems of the world cannot be solved by skeptics or cynics whose horizons are limited by the obvious realities. We need people who can dream of the things that never were. And you are those people. Dream differently. Think of doing something daring. Think of something different. Be diverse. Be the change you wish to see at this university and in the world. I'm really excited about the future that we'll all here build at UNLV. And I thank you all for coming out today on your last Friday of your summer. I'm really excited to see you all here. And I'll turn it over to Alexis Shibe, the Director of Programming for the Rebel Events Board. Thank you.
Good morning, Rebels. Thank you for coming out today. It is a very exciting day as you begin your college career and become part of the Rebel family. My name is Alexis Shibe, and I am a junior majoring in hospitality, and I'm also the Director of Programming for the Rebel Events Board. I'm here to talk to you about the 22nd annual Premier UNLV. Premier UNLV is one of the university's longest-standing annual traditions, and it's going to be a lot of fun this year. So don't forget to stop by and get your free limited edition Fight Song t-shirt, free food, pyro, and more. So save the date for August 31st from 5:30 to 10 p.m. at the intramural field. I hope to see you all there.
Thanks, Alexis. It's an amazing event next Thursday. Please go. It's seriously one of the coolest things I've ever experienced. I went last year, and we broke a Guinness World Record, so that's really cool. Also, today, in the PIDA Plaza, which is in front of the Student Union, which I hope you all know where that is. It's on the east side of campus. We're having a party in the PIDA with the student government hosting it, so go on over there, get some free food, meet your elected officials, have some fun. And so now I'm going to ask you all to get involved for a second. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? I want you to take your arm, bring it back like this. You're going to learn the rebel chant, okay? So you're now rebels. So you bring the arm back, you go, rebels, rebels, rebels. Yes. Get it. Awesome. This is great. Give yourself a round of applause. So now I will turn it over to the Graduate Professional Student Association President, Ms. Kanani Espinoza.
Give it up for Chris and Alexis. Hi everyone, so my name is Kanani and I get to serve this year as the president of the Graduate and Professional Student Association, which is a fancy way of saying student government for grad students. We like to call grad students on this campus grad rebels, so can I hear from my grad rebels in the crowd? There you go. You know, it's never too early to start thinking of your master or doctoral program as you sit in the crowd if you're an undergrad here today. So UNLV offers a plethora of master's and doctoral programs and professional schools. So this year, we welcomed our inaugural class for the UNLV School of Medicine. Did you all know that? So let's hear it for those grad rebel doctors out there who will make a difference in our community. How exciting! GPSA offers a lot of advocacy for graduate and professional students. We do research funding and conference travel. I was an undergrad 6 years ago in your seats, and now I'm in my master's program. So it's an easy transition. UNLV makes it really great. But I just wanted to welcome you, say welcome to all the grad rebels, and if you need me, find me throughout orientation events throughout the year, and have a great welcome day, rebels.
Now, please welcome to the UNLV Creates stage, from the William F. Harrah College of Hotel Administration, Dr. Finley Catrone, Assistant Professor in Residence and Director of Enrollment Management.
Wow! Good morning, UNLV! Woo! My name is Finley Catrone, and I am a recovering actor. I'm very excited to welcome you on this incredibly important part of your journey today with my story, because it took me a really long time to figure out what it means to step into greatness. And I hope that by sharing my journey with you, you'll get there earlier than I did and with more intention. So these are the guideposts that I've figured out for building a successful, happy life. In 1985, I graduated from Willard High School in Willard, Missouri, and I headed to find my future at Missouri State University. Now, I hadn't declared a major, but I knew I wanted to emulate the smartest person I knew, my uncle, the attorney. So I started taking my general education classes. I had no idea what to major in. Law school was going to be later. Then I realized I was too shy to practice sexy, courtroom, right, wrong, fight for the little guy law. I needed help overcoming my shyness. So I took an acting class to help me find my courtroom composure. I remember the moment that class changed my life. I was randomly assigned Willie Loman's monologue from Death of a Salesman. Now, for those of you who don't know, Willie Loman is an old man. He's been played by some very famous old men. Dustin Hoffman, Brian Dennehy, and of course, 18-year-old Finley. He has this devastating moment where he's begging his young boss to allow him to keep his job as a salesman. And he says, "I can't throw myself on my sons. I'm not a cripple. Howard, you have to let me go to Boston." I had my classmates right here. Delivering that monologue taught me so much about the power of theater, the power of words and character, and the power of finding the humanity in another person. I had found my passion. I immediately declared my major, and for the remainder of my college years and for years later, I continued to hone my craft. That passion kept me focused on getting better. As I found my passion, I also found myself and where I belonged. I found my tribe. Now, I was always one of the cool kids, and I had already joined the color guard. So I had friends, but now I found my tribe. The right tribe will help you be the best you. They will help you hold yourself accountable when you're weak. They'll lift you when you fall, and they will help you through the tough times. Now, fall of my senior year, I was in New York City to march the Macy's parade. On break from rehearsals, I did a very brave thing. I auditioned for the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Now, I was shaking with nerves. I was scared to death. And my friend Candy pulled me aside and said something that I have carried with me ever since. She said, "Finley, what is the worst thing that can happen if you suck?" What? What is the worst thing that can happen if you totally tank this audition? Will kittens die? Because that is the worst thing I can think of happening as a result of something I've done. I said, "Candy, that's ridiculous." To which she responded, "Exactly." So I marched across town, I delivered my monologues, and kittens did not die. Right after Christmas, I got my acceptance letter. At my going away party, I got some great gifts, but the best was a self-defense book for women. Now, I laughed too, but that book came in handy more than once. After graduation, I sold all my worldly belongings and I moved to New York City with new headshots, $1,000, and a dream. One day, I was waiting for the subway, and I found myself surrounded by 5 enormous men. One of them came up to me and said, "Give me that bag." And I did what that book told me to do. I caused a scene. "Do I look like I'm made of money to you? Do I look like an easy mark? huh? And then tap dancing seemed like a really good idea. I'm just waiting for the train like everybody else. What's wrong with you? And those enormous men disappeared. I felt very powerful and very brave and a little bit crazy. I started to figure out what I was made of. I found my New York City tribe. I started with nothing and I built a life as an artist. I was poor, but I wasn't starving. Would you like French fries and baked beans with that burger to make it the full platter? And I went to a lot of auditions. My favorite was for a musical review in Guam. I made it to the tap callback. Now, just know I was not a good tap dancer. So I took the taps off my shoes, I put a big bow in my hair, and I sold that dance like nobody else. I made it through several cuts of dancers, and then the choreographer pointed at me, called me forward, and said, I should cast you simply because you made it this far. Now get out. Kittens didn't die. I made it to the second callback for a new campaign for the Navy. I was this close to being the ideal visual for the US Navy. I was cute, but not stunning, feminine, but not too girly. I found myself in a room of women, many of whom looked very much like me, and they started taking measurements. They got height, chest, waist, leg length, and then, this one's head's too big. What? That's the first time I consciously thought, if I find anything I'm as passionate about as performing, I will switch careers. Not long after, I created this really gutsy one-woman show. And after the run, I was on the subway heading home to my apartment by myself, nobody to share my success with. And that's when I realized having a career and a tribe wasn't going to be enough for me. Now, I'd never fully considered big picture what I needed to be happy. I hadn't thought in terms of what's your end in mind, what's your true north. None of that had really occurred to me yet. Now, when it was time to leave New York, I again sold all my worldly belongings and I trekked across country to Las Vegas. I found my tribe here when I joined an improvisational comedy group. How improv again taught me what I'm made of. It taught me to be brave, and it taught me what it means to truly trust another person. It also taught me that living big can be addicting. Now, I was what you would call a bread and butter actor. I made a living, but I was certainly not rich or famous. Voiceovers were my big money maker. I am the voice of the computer on one of the highest grossing video games of all time. Building complete. Casualties. I was also the original voice on the Las Vegas monorail. Next stop, Las Vegas Hilton Station. Please take your belongings. And then I was reminded that if there was anything I loved as much as performing, I would change careers. I was in a voiceover studio awaiting the producer who was over 2 hours late, and I said, I'm really sorry, but I've got to go. And they said, you can't leave. If you leave, we'll replace you. And I felt small and disrespected, and then my life changed. After an improv show, a man introduced himself to me as the opening training manager for the new Aladdin. He'd hoped to pick my brain about improv games that he could use in his training. That chance meeting changed the trajectory of my career. So we got together, we shared ideas, and then he hired me to open the hotel. Wow, training was fun. It was kind of a performance, but it wasn't about me. It didn't matter if my head was too big. It mattered that people were learning. So I opened the Aladdin, and then I was invited to facilitate training for other organizations, and I opened the Palms, and then I worked on other projects. It was the craziest thing. I didn't know what I was doing, but people kept paying me to do it. I had found a new passion. That's also when I realized, no matter what you're doing, do it with excellence and people will notice. Now, I was a really good facilitator of training. I was funny, at least I thought I was. I loved the learning process, and I surrounded myself with great people. I found mentors who made sure the kittens wouldn't die. Now, because of my focus on excellence, I stepped into a fantastic career with MGM Resorts. And at some point, I was invited to attend a 7 Habits of Highly Effective People class. In that class, I was tasked with writing my mission statement, with thinking big picture, what's your end in mind, what's your true north, what's important to you. And I felt very lucky that I had accidentally created a life that fit my end in mind. My life's mission is to teach what I know, to learn from others, to love without condition, and to live big. I am outrageously bold. Now, if you notice, that mission statement leaves a whole lot of room for growth and change and opportunities and my perpetual need to know more. Now, specifically, I needed to know why I was good at training and development. So I headed back to school. I found my way to Alice Corkhill in the Educational Psychology Department here at UNLV. Working with Alice was a dream come true. She's smart and funny and has incredibly high standards. So I graduated with my master's in Ed Psych, with new mentors, new friends, but I still didn't know why I was good at training and development. I was still curious and still performing with excellence and still performing on stage as time permitted. Now, it's because of that focus on excellence that every opportunity I had came my way, including a call out of the blue from Four Seasons. I got this call that said, "Hi, we have an opportunity that we think you are uniquely qualified to fill." And without even thinking, I said, "I'm sorry, who is this and how did you get my phone number?" Never say that, by the way. So I transitioned to another incredible organization, working for an incredible leader who made me feel smarter and more creative and who really allowed me to explore my greatness. But be careful, because when you surround yourself with great people, you've got to be prepared for them to push you to be better. I was sitting in an airport with a colleague, a UNLV grad, and I was whining. I said, "I'd really like to get my PhD, but I don't have time and I travel too much." And he said, "No, you don't." "What? You don't want to get your PhD. If you did, you'd be doing it." Wow. That was the kick in the pants I needed. So I headed back to school. I was loving the learning process. I was loving Four Seasons, but I still didn't know why I was good at training and development. Until one day, I was watching a movie with my then 3-year-old, and she said, "Mommy, I don't want to watch this movie anymore. That man is bad. I want to watch a movie with only good people in it." And I said, "Well, sweet pea, every movie has a bad person in it and a good person. They're called the antagonist and the protagonist. They're why we stay interested. They take us on a roller coaster ride of story." And that's when it hit me. My toddler taught me. I am good at training and development not because I'm smart and I know how to apply research. I'm good at training and development because I am an actor. I understand emotion, intensity, intention, story, and drama. I can feel what people need. That BFA in theater and my incredible ability to fake tap dance have shaped my level of excellence for nearly 30 years. Now, as I was completing my PhD, an opportunity came to my attention that really seemed like I needed to pursue it. So I called a friend and longtime member of my Greatness Network, Dr. Bobby Barnes in the Hotel College. Shout out to Dr. Barnes. And I said, "I think this job description was written just for me." Now fast forward. I'm heading into my 5th year of teaching in the hospitality program, and I've been invited to welcome you on your university journey. Now, I hope that my story will help you find your greatness certainly faster than I feel like I've found mine. I hope that these guideposts will become real for you and that you'll really start to build on them while you're here. Now, first and foremost, find your passion. Do what you love. The world needs you to live with passion. And if you're like me, all of your passions will intertwine. Find your tribe. Find those people that love you no matter what and help you get better. Be brave. Kittens won't die when you step outside your comfort zone. Know what's important to you. Where are you going? What's true north for you? And be excellent. There are no negative consequences for excellence. Align yourself with great people and find mentors. Be focused on constantly learning more and know that learning can come from absolutely anywhere. And in the process, you will step into your greatness. We are all here to support you as you figure out what greatness means for you. Now more than ever, the world needs you to be great. Thank you, and welcome to UNLV!
Thank you, Dr. Catrone. Now, please welcome to the stage, from the College of Education, Dr. Samuel Song, Associate Professor of School Psychology in the Department of Educational Psychology and Higher Education.
Hey everybody, let's see some rebel spirit out here. Come on, rebel spirit. Whatever this is, I just learned it today, just like you. We hear a lot about the rebel spirit here at UNLV. We say proudly that we're different, daring, and diverse. And that's because difference is good. And for any of you who are non-math people, I got you covered right here. Difference is good. And difference adds flavor to life and the world that we live in. Don't you think? Just like a nice, flavorful meal, I love to eat, and so this is really important to me. Unfortunately, however, in my work, I've seen all too often the downside of being different. To show you some pictures, and because I'm a psychology professor, I want to ask you, how do you feel when you see these pictures? Do you ever feel like you've got stripes? You ever feel like you're blue and maybe sticking out in a group? Maybe going in the opposite direction a little bit from where everyone else is going? Yeah, and we know that if that continues, that can turn into being targeted and singled out for being different. And I want to tell you something, this is really profound, really profound. This doesn't just happen with fish, you know? That's right, it happens with people. It's called peer victimization and bullying. And it includes a variety of not nice behaviors such as teasing, being laughed out, spreading rumors, to downright physical attacks, sad to say. 1 in 5 school children deal with bullying. And in college, for every 100 students, 10 to 20 of you will experience it. That means for every 1,000, that's 100 to 200 students who will experience bullying. And just when you graduate and think you got rid of bullying and you get a job, workplace bullying happens too. It does. You got a colleague or coworker, or worse yet, you have a supervisor who inappropriately abuses their authority on you. That's serious. Happens all too often, unfortunately. And there's some bad consequences. Because what really this is about the fact that some people do not appreciate difference in the way that we all want to. And this is sad. In schools, the reason why bullying is serious is because when bullying's happening, you don't feel safe. And when you don't feel safe, it's hard to study, it's hard to focus, it's hard to learn, isn't it? True story. I met a girl when she was 14, and she was being bullied by a group of guys. Can you believe that? She was being bullied because she was overweight and because she had a bald spot on her head. The The guys didn't know, of course, because they never get to try to get to know them. They didn't know that she looked that way because she was a cancer survivor. I met her in a psychiatric emergency room. I was the attending psychologist, and she tried to commit suicide that day. Bullying has some severe consequences. Unfortunately, we know this in the research. It's associated with a lot of mental health and health outcomes, and most recently, it's actually been linked to neurobiological functioning differences. Neurobiological functioning differences. So today I want to focus in on two factors about bullying that are really important for us today, okay? And the first one starts like this. This is the traditional view of bullying, isn't it? You got the strong preying on the weak, okay? Big guy picks on the little guy. Now this does happen. While it's true, what it really looks like most of the time is this. What do you notice? Well, you notice that there's other people there. This is the point. Bullying is a social phenomenon. It happens in peer groups. It happens with people there. And people, when they're there, what do? They kind of join in. They laugh, they take pictures, they egg them on. Go get them, yeah. And other people see it and they ignore it and they don't do anything. And yeah, there's lots of reasons for that. Maybe they are afraid, they don't want to get retaliated against. But this is what happens, unfortunately. And what we know is that the bullies are often not these big, rough, and tough guys, but we know that they're actually pretty sophisticated people. They're actually popular. And because they're popular, people like them. And so what they're really doing is they're trying to be the leader of the pack, maintain their leadership and say, hey, I'm cool, I'm funny, yeah, I'm gonna make fun of this guy, this woman, yeah. They try to maintain their leadership in a group. And it's funny because then the people like us who are there and we see it, we kind of, if we're honest about it, maybe we want to be like them, or maybe we don't do anything. Maybe we join in because we want that leader, that bully leader, to like us. Sorry. We want that bully leader, we want to be in the in-group, perhaps. So this is the social dynamics of bullying, which is really important to understand. There's always a power imbalance. The power imbalance. The strong do prey on the weak. But what we know is not just about physical size, it's about being strong because maybe you have certain capacities, you have certain skills, but they always have social power. They have people who go along with them, and they have people who don't do anything about it. Now, the other issue is called cultural norms. Culture, broadly defined, is about the values and ideas that we think are good and right in the world. And so we see this a lot because there's these rules about how we're supposed to look. You got to be kind of this tall to be good looking, or you got to look this way and act this way and dress like that. Real men must be macho. Oh, if you wear clothing that is colorful, that's not macho. I'm going to make fun of you. Women can only show happiness in public. They can only show fear and worry and sadness. Women should never show anger in public. Kind of get what I'm saying? Let me show you something. This is sad. This is true. This is an example of how cultural norms plays into bullying. The diversity and difference in our world is here. And we've got choices, and we've got people who all need to belong. Don't you think? Rather than calling people minorities and labeling them, what's really happening is this idea called minoritization. People are being minoritized based on the culture, because of these cultural norms and cultural rules, and they're seen as differently wrong, something wrong with them. So, in a sense, all of us can experience this. Some of us are minoritized all the time because we look different, because of our skin color, our facial features, etc., etc. Some of us are minoritized just about all the time because we know we are different and we feel different on the inside. Our sexual orientation, our gender identity. And some of us are seldom minoritized. And that's because we fit in the cultural norms. And when given the choice, we choose not to become minoritized. We stay in our environments here. Why? Because it feels bad to be minoritized. Remember the fish? And so what I want to do today is I want to ask you all to do an activity of solidarity, okay? And I'm going to ask you to be a little bit daring, to be a little bit vulnerable, but before I ask you, allow me to share a little bit about myself and become vulnerable first. I grew up in SoCal. We're the first and only Asian family in a very diverse neighborhood. Very diverse. By kindergarten, my brothers and I have been picked up by the police a number of times because we're all home alone and our neighbors called on us, right? Our parents were working, they were poor. Our home had been burglarized multiple times. And in preschool, I was actually strangled by this older classmate of mine, okay? Because he wanted this toy. It was this cool Spider-Man throwing thing, web throwing thing. And, I was thinking, dude, you just got to steal it like I did, right? You don't have to try to kill me. Jeez, extreme behavior here. But, hey, he was only in kindergarten, preschool, so sorry. I joke about it to kind of cope with it, of course. Needless to say, when we moved to a better neighborhood and a better school, I was on free and reduced lunch for most of my educational career. And needless to say, I experienced continued community violence and delinquency throughout my educational career. And so now, as I've shared with you all, I want to ask you to join me in daring for difference. So please, only if you feel comfortable, of course, please stand up if you've ever been bullied in your life. Thank you. Please stand up if you've ever been disrespected or mistreated because you are different. Please stand up if you've ever seen bullying happen in your life. Okay? Look around. In our difference, we are the same. In our difference, we are the same. We are the same in our difference. We are differently in solidarity. Isn't that cool? Awesome. Thank you. Let's give us a round of applause. Thank you. Please have a seat. Please have a seat. So what we just did was we did an activity where we all chose to dare and become vulnerable and to go into a different context, to feel a little uncomfortable. And that's what I want to ask you all today to do, is to dare, oops, wrong direction here, to dare for another. Why? Because we are the second most diverse university in the nation. Yeah! Rebel spirit. Here at UNLV, we are different, daring, and diverse. And I want to ask you all to be this way here at UNLV. Most of my work is focused on how to reduce bullying in schools, and I'm here to tell you today that culture can be changed. By definition, there's no hard and fast rules about culture. That's always true. It can be changed because it's created by us. Creating a safe campus is all about people standing up for diversity, helping others who are powerless, being an ally to those who are different. True story. Freshman in high school wears a pink shirt. goes to school, gets bullied by some upperclassmen, and what do they say? Oh, of course they say he's gay, yeah. These other upperclassmen, though, they say, you know what, we are sick of this. We are sick of this happening at our school, and we are going to do something about it. So what do? They creatively engage and innovate. They partner with businesses in the local community. They get donations, and 3 days later, 1,000 students wore pink shirts that day. Isn't that cool? Yes. How do you think the bullies felt? How do you think the victims felt? Did they change the culture of the school? Yes, they did. Did they change the climate of the school? Yes, they did. Here at UNLV, we're different, daring, and diverse. And I want to ask you to continue to do this here at UNLV, but to do this with a larger purpose as well. We want to stand up for diversity for the world, right? The world that we live in. The world needs more rebel spirit out there who are daring to stand up for difference and diversity. So that's why school here at UNLV is so important. Take your education seriously and graduate, because this is a training ground for this rebel spirit, the daring and diversity, daring and difference. Now, I'm not just talking about academic studies, I'm talking about the full repertoire, all the resources here, social activities, yeah, extracurricular and community service activities. Engage in all of them, because as you engage, you're going to learn more and more about diversity and difference, and then you're going to go out in the world and spread the UNLV rebel spirit out there, okay? Here at UNLV, we are different, daring, and diverse. I encourage you all to go out and stand up for diversity, stand up for difference, because when you do so, remember, you're standing up for yourself, because you are different. And when you do so, you're living the UNLV rebel spirit. Go Rebels! All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Song. Now, please welcome to the stage from the College of Liberal Arts, Dr. Anita Tijerina Revilla, Associate Professor and Chair of the Department of Interdisciplinary Gender and Ethnic Studies.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Saludos a todos y todas. Bienvenidos y bienvenidas. I'm going to start off by situating myself and letting you know a little bit about who I am and how I came to be here. What you'll find is that when you enter the classroom, some of your professors, probably most of them, will go directly into the subject matter, and they won't tell you anything about who they are. But I happen to think, like many feminists and many social justice scholars, that what happens outside of the classroom is really relevant to what's happening inside. In terms of how you hear me, in terms of how I teach you, who I am matters, and who you are matters to me. So I am a Chicana, Latina, Tejana from the south side of San Antonio, Texas. I grew up in extreme poverty. I was raised by a single mother who did not have access to higher education, and my father died when I was 8 years old. I am, like many of you, a first-generation college student and also a first-generation academic, which makes me very different than many of my colleagues. I also identify as queer, bisexual, and fluid. I don't fit or desire to fit into a heteronormative paradigm. I'm what some people call a woman of size. It means I don't match the Euro-patriarchal body image, the Euro-patriarchal image of beauty, and I work actively to reject it. I'm also committed to social justice, I'm a feminist, and I'm an activist scholar. But my business card just says that I'm the chair of the Department of Interdisciplinary Gender and Ethnic Studies. Obviously, I'm much more than my business card. At the root of this is my family. My family made me who I am. My mother, my brother, my sister, and their children in particular. In grad school, what I did is I studied what we call the educational pipeline. I looked at what people are doing, what's happening along their academic trajectory, what happens for people when they start elementary school, and what happens to get them to college, right? And so I look particularly at Latinos and Latinas, Chicanas and Chicanos, and what I learned was that out of 100 elementary school students who started with me, only 46 graduated from high school. Only 26 of those enrolled in college. 17% went to a community college. Only one of those transfers. So if you're from a community college, that's you. Congratulations. And 9 of those went on directly to a 4-year school. Out of all of those, Latinos and Latinas who started elementary school with me, or you perhaps, only 8 graduate with a bachelor's degree. Out of those, only 2 graduate with a professional degree. And less than 1% graduates with a PhD. That's me. I am less than 1% of my community. For a lot of people, these statistics are pretty dismal. In fact, they may think, well, why even try if only less than 1% makes it to the PhD? But for me, even though I didn't even know what a PhD was growing up, I never had met a PhD, I thought if just one person gets it, then maybe I should be that one person, right? And so for you, I hope that you can see yourself in this pipeline, because many of you, especially if you're a first-generation college student, especially if you come from a working class background, or if you're marginalized in any way in our community, your statistics are really similar to this. I like to take it back to my family. My brother, he had an undiagnosed learning disability, and so he left school. Some people would call that a dropout. We call it a push-out, because he was not adequately supported by the school system in order to continue. Same thing with my mother. She dropped out of high school because she got married, and they wouldn't allow her to go to school with her husband. And as a woman, she was expected to leave school and not my father. That is a push-out, not a dropout. My father made it for his associate's degree, and he got a degree in real estate. But my father grew up in extreme poverty and extreme violence and abuse in his home. And so he was, I think he had an undiagnosed mental illness as well, and he became an alcoholic. So as a result, he passed away at the age of 31 years old. Then you have my sister, who made it through college, was on the dean's list, and is very brilliant. However, she also grew up with depression. And at the age of 19, just about the time she was about to enter her senior year, she had her first mental health breakdown. And she is now diagnosed with bipolar and schizoaffective disorder. But as a result of our lack of health care, she wasn't able to continue with her education. And then you have me. I graduated with my bachelor's from Princeton University, my master's from Columbia, and my PhD from UCLA. Many people will tell you that I am the success, that I am the smart one, and that I deserved it. I do believe I deserved it, but I also think that my family deserved it. I think they are just as smart and just as deserving, and many of the people who did not make it through this pipeline deserved it just as much as I did. However, there are many obstacles that have stood in their way, similar to some of your friends and family members in your community who aren't here with us today. So I asked myself, how can I change the experience of my sister's children, who I'm today raising? They came to me when they were 3 and 4 years old, and now they're 12 and 13. I think about what I do for a living, and it's intimately connected to this goal of making sure their experience is different. I think about all the different ways that we experience discrimination, both on a personal level and a structural level, right? Some of you are aware, for example, of racism, of sexism, of classism, but maybe you've never heard of xenophobia, transphobia, homophobia, mental illness discrimination, or even fatism, body discrimination, right? Some of you, maybe when you eat food, you tell yourself you're fat and you're ugly, or maybe you woke up this morning and looked in the mirror and you insulted yourself. That's an act of violence, right, on yourself. but we don't think about how we're engaging in this kind of discrimination, both on a personal level and a structural level, right? There are people telling us why we can't succeed, basically based on who you are. So what I do is I think about our trajectory. So I'm going to ask you to think about this for just a couple of seconds. Think back to your childhood when someone asked you, what do you want to be when you grow up? Maybe it was in kinder, somewhere along the line in elementary school. What did you want to be? What were your dreams? What got in the way? Or are you living your dreams today? I studied critical race theory, and there's a scholar named Patricia Williams. She wrote that the impact of racism has a murdering impact on the human spirit. You can think about the spirit as your essence, who you are, right? So she said, racism is killing human spirits. And what I argue is that our spirits and dreams can very easily be destroyed by all the wounds of the isms and phobias. And so I always think about it. How many of you have been attacked in terms of your spirit by these isms and phobias? More questions to ask yourself. Has anyone ever attempted spirit murder on me? Who will intervene so that my spirit is not destroyed? What role will I play in preserving my spirit and the spirit of others around me? Could I too, this is the hardest one, could I too be a spirit murderer? To myself or others, whether it's conscious or unconscious. So I studied Chicana feminism. This is a portrait of Gloria Anzaldúa that I painted. And what she says is that the act of not knowing, she calls it desconocimiento, we get to the point where we have a lack of consciousness, a lack of awareness about each other, about the world, about history. The lack of not knowing leads to ignorance, fear, and hatred. She says that many of us are undergoing a dismemberment. This is a picture of the Aztec goddess of the moon, Coyolxauhqui. And she says that many of us are undergoing a wounding and a dismemberment. Where our bodies and our minds and our spirit, our society is being taken apart. It's being dismembered and fragmented. We are attacking each other. And she says what we need to do in order to help that wound or heal is we need to remember. I argue that you can do that through laughter, creation, education, and healing, and most importantly, love. Right? And sometimes it's going to be an ongoing cycle. You're going to be engaged in the wounding and in the remembering and in the healing. But try to focus on what brings you that healing as well. So what I'm going to ask you to do is also think about putting ourselves back together. I truly believe that together we are on that Coyolxauhqui imperative. We engage in the process when we allow ourselves to love fiercely, to laugh, to create art, to dance, write poetry, tell stories, and sing songs. We do this shamelessly and with great connection to our truth and our authenticity. A lot of us are showing up to class sometimes not being our real selves. We walk the world inauthentically. And the way to put yourself back together is to walk authentically and help other people to do the same. I'd like to take a look really quickly at our current state. I believe that change is coming, but that the wound persists. What role will you play? This is a vision of the Coyolxauhqui remembered, put back together. She's still wounded, but she's in that process of healing. I ask you at your time at UNLV to consider how you will protect your spirit and how you will help to protect the spirit of others. Welcome to UNLV.
Thank you, Dr. Revilla. And now please welcome our last faculty speaker this evening from the College of Liberal Arts, Dr. Michael Green, Associate Professor in the Department of History.
welcome to UNLV and welcome to UNLV Creates. And since I'm in history, I'm going to take you back in time to when dinosaurs roamed the earth. 1982. I was an entering freshman at UNLV, and UNLV was celebrating its 25th anniversary. And we didn't have UNLV Creates. We had a really good school, but we didn't have a lot to create. We had 9,000 students. Now we have more than 30,000, including you. The building you're in hadn't been built yet. We have grown a lot. So, what am I doing here? Good question. I'm a historian of Las Vegas who grew up in Las Vegas. I went to local schools, Walter Bracken, Rancho High School. We have Rancho in the house. Okay, 4.0's pending, all right. You're gonna do great. I went to UNLV as an undergrad. Now, there was a movie made at one point called Casino, and it was about Las Vegas in the 70s when the mob was here. Robert De Niro played the guy who my father worked for as a dealer. Joe Pesci played the mobster who lived around the corner from me. And thanks to that, I've been involved in all kinds of stuff in local history, including building the Mob Museum, where our students did an exhibit from the history department just this past year. And it was the brainchild of Mayor Oscar Goodman, who's standing there in the pinstripe suit next to one of my former students. Well, we've come a long way, and I want to show you how far we've come. When my family moved here in 1967, the Boulevard Mall was just opening. And that's it in the lower left, and people said it was in the middle of nowhere. And UNLV would be off the screen in the upper right. We were just off the edge of the middle of nowhere. Now, I write about and teach about things like Abraham Lincoln and Native Americans, organized crime in the 20th century, Nevada and the Great Basin. Last year, I taught a course on presidential elections as part of UNLV hosting, for the first time, a presidential debate. And it was really exciting to be around here. Now, we're having another celebration this year. It's our 60th anniversary at UNLV. And you go back 60 years when the campus started. What was happening in 1957? Well, the Soviets launched a satellite into outer space, and it meant the Soviets had won the space race to infinity and beyond. And the US was way behind. And then we put men on the moon. A new hotel opened on the Strip, the Tropicana. That's it in the upper left, and the blank space behind it is UNLV. The same year, an actor named Daniel Day-Lewis was born, and he later won an Academy Award playing Abraham Lincoln, who has something to do with this presentation today. Really? Really? Abraham Lincoln in Las Vegas? How does that tie together? Well, that's history, folks. Things tie together. We're the battle-born state. Nevada became a state during the Civil War. And we became a state because Abraham Lincoln was worried about his re-election. He didn't think he'd win. He wanted every electoral vote he could get. He also wanted to pass the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, and he needed votes in the House of Representatives. He needed support from the states. Nevada could help him. So what did Nevada do? Well, Lincoln didn't have to worry. He was re-elected by an electoral vote of 212 to 21. Nevada did not make a big difference. And if you look at that, you'll notice it says Nevada 2. We didn't give him 3 electoral votes. We gave him 2. The third elector got stuck in a blizzard in Esmeralda County and never made it to the vote. Appreciate the weather down here. And when we think of Abraham Lincoln, we think of the great emancipator. We think of the guy who was always telling a story or a joke. There were so many of them, he couldn't remember them. And the president who led the North to victory in the Civil War. But the fact is, Lincoln and his fellow Republicans in Congress did a lot to shape the place where we are today in the American West. Not just Nevada statehood. The Homestead Act was designed to get farmers like Pa Ingalls and Little House on the Prairie to come out into the West and till the soil. The Transcontinental Railroad to connect East and West. It also created a few towns in Nevada like Reno, Elko, and Winnemucca. But there was one other piece of legislation that would have a big impact on us out west, and that was the Morrill Land Grant College Act, which gave states the opportunity to get support to create colleges and universities. And almost every state would take advantage of that law or the laws that followed. And you may notice there's a little mark on the state of Nevada. Well, again, Nevada didn't have to react right away. This law passed in 1862. Nevada was still a territory. We hadn't gotten our statehood yet, which we celebrate each year by going door to door for candy. Our statehood is October 31st. I always thought that's why we were trick-or-treating. In 1873, the state legislature and Governor Lewis Bradley of Elko supported creating, finally, a Morrill Land Grant Institution, Nevada State College located in Elko, with 6 students, and I have to tell you, a lousy football team. I mean, there was no line. It didn't work. Not enough people were interested. So in 1886, they moved the university to Reno. That's Morrill Hall, the first building on the Reno campus. You might be saying, wait a minute, we're in Las Vegas. What about us? How come we did not get a university in 1886? And the answer is in what I'm about to show you, Las Vegas in 1886. That's it? Well, there was more than that. There were a few dozen Southern Paiute, Euro-Americans, some ranches. That's the Las Vegas Ranch, which is now part of the Las Vegas Old Mormon Fort State Park, where, if you take one of my classes, you might very well show up. But we grew. An auction in 1905 with the completion of the railroad, and then Hoover Dam and the legalization of gambling in the early 30s. And by 1951, Nevada had become the state where the federal government tested nuclear bombs above ground. And people would come here to see the mushroom cloud. It became a tourist attraction. And sure enough, there were hotels and casinos built. And they were catering to gamblers. And some of the people who built them were a little questionable. Well, in the same year, 1951, the legislature, under pressure from Governor Charles Russell and from threats of competition, other universities threatening to come into Nevada, decided to create a Southern Regional Division of the university. The legislator who led the charge for it was a woman named Maud Frazier, who'd been our school superintendent down here, and the entryway to UNLV at Maryland and Harmon is named for her. And the guy above them, James Dickinson, was a young English professor at Reno who was sent down here to run this campus. And the plaza outside the library is named for him. And the campus was located in Las Vegas High School. They didn't even have their own space. Their offices were in the theater department, and when the school put on a play, they had to cancel classes. There was nowhere else to go. Well, finally in 1957, there's someplace else to go, a campus, the first building, Frazier Hall. And that's Dean William Carlson, is in the education building. I knew we'd hear from you. Welcoming the faculty and staff on September 10th, 1957 to the first class at UNLV, and we'll be celebrating that anniversary and other events throughout the semester. 1964, the year of Nevada's centennial, we award our first degrees at UNLV. Governor Grant Sawyer, who'd been instrumental in getting the university started, came down here and spoke to the first graduating class. Well, in the next few years, the campus was growing, and there'd be some changes. So in 1967, the business school started. Now the Lee Business School, and it's the same year that the program started in hotel that became the William F. Harrah College of Hotel Administration. You are a loud group. Good for you. In the upper right, that's Jerry Vallon, who was the founder of the program, with Larry Ruvo, who ran Southern Wine and Spirits, and he would be instrumental in UNLVino, a major fundraising event, but also in something that now affects our new medical school. Whoop! Never give a historian technology. It's also the 50th anniversary for some of us in the humanities. For example, the Barrack Museum of Art, which includes natural history and other cultural activities. And special collections, which archives our institution and does things like digital exhibits about water and showgirls. And if you take one of my classes, trust me, you're going to hang out in special collections. I'll be hanging out there too. So we've come a long way. Las Vegas today, this area surrounding us, 2.2 million residents, nearly 43 million tourists last year, thriving cultural community, a growing medical community, including the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health, designed by legendary architect Frank Gehry. And yeah, museums like the Mob Museum. But UNLV has come a long way too. Everything from the solar decathlon to great artists like Trey Norman. Yeah. One of the top-ranked hotel colleges in the world, one of the top-ranked, you again! One of the top-ranked law schools, a brand new medical school, a dental school, all kinds of things growing, including in my College of Liberal Arts, where the history department is just getting its first endowed chair. So it's exciting times for all of us at UNLV. So I hope you're going to come over and see me and take history, but I also know you're going to make history. Welcome to UNLV.
Thank you, Dr. Green.
Hello? Why don't we put our hands together for that amazing presentation from all our faculty? Let's do that. At this time, I'm going to ask you to take out your honor cords, and I want you to stand up for us. We're doing this together. We're all in this together, right? Place that honor cord around your neck like so. All right. We're going to do an academic pledge, and the faculty and staff are going to do that with us so that we're all here together committing to our education here at UNLV. So, please repeat after me. As a student of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, I commit to maximizing my experience as a rebel. I will actively engage with my classes. Seek out transformative knowledge. Make space for intellectual flexibility. And get deeply involved with campus life. I pledge to work hard, play hard, support my fellow rebels, complete my degree, and bleed scarlet and gray. Go Rebels! You are the new people here. Congratulations.
You. So I am Gail Duno Butler, and I work in student success at UNLV. So my job is to ensure that today is the beginning that leads to graduation for students. I hope you like the sound of that. UNLV Creates is the kickoff student success event for UNLV. We have worked with the speakers for the latter part of the spring semester through the summer semester, and to that end, I'm hoping you will join me in one final round of enthusiastic applause for Dr. Finley Catrone, Dr. Sam Song, Dr. Anita Revea, and Dr. Michael Green. As I mentioned, they worked hard to deliver inspiring, welcoming, and messages of hope and encouragement for you for the fall of 2017 and beyond. Before going on to the next part of the program, just a couple of thank yous. Thank you to the UNLV Creates Committee, who assist every year, particularly the lead organizer, Emily Balcom, Student Academic Integration Coordinator, and colleagues across campus who join hands with us to make this possible for you. In addition to the committee, I would like to thank Dr. Carl Reiber, Senior Vice Provost, for his leadership. Dr. Reiber. Dr. Laurel Pritchard for her leadership and daily support. And a special thank you to Regents Sam Lieberman and Patrick Carter for your encouragement, your support, and your participation today. So thank you to everyone for showing up. I'm going to call back to the stage now our favorite UNLV supporter, Trey Norman.
So as you all know, at orientation, we said that we were going to be giving away 2 $1,000 scholarships. Y'all excited about that? I mean, $1,000 can take you a long way or whatnot. So what we've got is all the expo cards right here, and we're going to pull 2 names. So can we get a big drum roll? Can we get that going? You going to pull it for us, Gail? Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. What's the name? Let me.
Okay. So, how about Alan Bartolome?
Oh, snap. All right, you stay over there in that section. We're going to make sure you get your $1,000 scholarship. All right, I want to pull this next one. Let me put it on the floor.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, if you think it's you, I don't know. We about to see. I'm going to go down to the bottom. Let's see. Oh, Nadia Mora. Are you in the building? Nadia Mora. Is Nadia, make some noise. Are you here, Nadia? Oh, I see you. I heard you. Okay, you just shy. That's all right. Y'all make some noise for Nadia Mora over there. So, just won $1,000 just for showing up, But yeah, I'm gonna get off the stage now. I'm good. I'll take those. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, Trey. Delivering good news. The next part of the program I think you'll enjoy a lot. I would like to call to the stage our special guest for UNLV Creates today from the Emerge Conference.
Go Rebels. The ashtrays full, my soul is empty. Losing patience, hate the night. Well, the widow prays, but still resents me. No reward without the fight. Right. Now I know it's self-destruction. Fail to keep myself in line. You're free to the assumption that everything will be just fine. Your heart is pure, so don't you tempt me. I'm twisted and I'm violent. You know the truth and still you want me. Be this way until I die. Right. All I know is self-destruction. Fail to keep myself in line. assumption that everything's just fine. Give me a shoulder, can I? Give me a shoulder. All night, yeah. All I know is self-destruction. Fail to keep myself in line. You're free to the assumption that everything's just fine. Everything's just fine. And all I know is self-destruction. And all I know is self-destruction.
What was intended, but that's okay. That is my first name and last name all jumbled into one. That would be a cool logo if it were intentional. My name is Dylan Marin. You might not know it from that. How are you guys doing? Good. I feel compelled to share with you that Taylor Swift released new music today. How are you feeling about that? I'm getting mixed reactions, and I affirm whatever opinion you have. Thank you. So my name is Dylan Marin. I am a writer, performer, and a video maker. That's according to me. According to some people online, I'm a cuck and a snowflake, and other words that I was told that I cannot share with you today. So just want to come clean. That's who I am. I see the work I do as taking very complex social justice issues and making them more accessible by kind of refracting them through a satirical lens, right? Taking the very tried and true formula of unboxing videos where people unbox the latest intangible tech, Xboxes, iPhones, but instead doing it with intangible ideologies, like the mistreatment of Native Americans. When did this start for me? It started for me when I was a kid. I really wanted to be an actor. I took acting very seriously, and I eventually got good enough at it that agents were calling me into meetings, and agents in these meetings were telling me these two different things that I couldn't really piece together. They were praising me for my talent, and then they were telling me that it was unlikely that I would get work. Okay? I didn't understand how the two of those fit together. I thought if talented, then you would get work. But that was not the case. I wanted to find a way to talk about what I was stumbling upon in a bigger way beyond me, right? So what I realized is that this problem was, in fact, much bigger than me and much bigger than my ability to get a job or an agent. This was that Hollywood had a race problem. So years later, after all of these meetings, I started a video series called Every Single Word, which takes popular films and edits them down to only the words spoken by people of color, so that you can just kind of empirically put the facts out there. Let's take a look at, oh yeah, that's okay, I did that. Don't clap, they don't deserve it. It's 9 hours of movie, and it is 40 seconds. And if you noticed, all of the actors of color are under inches of makeup, right? When you start looking at these videos, and when you kind of take Hollywood movies and you edit them down to only the words spoken by people of color, you realize that this is actually a systemic problem. This is not just one movie, this is not just one trilogy. And also, what are they saying, right? And this was only my attempt to take a problem I was seeing and make it bigger than myself. So, moving on, I wanted to figure out how to do this with issues that didn't directly affect me. How could I be an ally? How could I use my platform and direct it to shed a spotlight on other people? Last summer, as the bathroom bill laws were creeping up around the country, specifically in North Carolina, I wanted to find a way to kind of satirically, but also earnestly tackle this very big problem, the fact that trans people were being legislated against in a pretty safe space. So I started a video series called Sitting in Bathrooms with Trans People, where I just interviewed my trans friends in the bathroom that aligns with their gender identity. The series did a lot, it did very well, but I kind of had to figure out who this series was for. In my mind, I wanted to radically change even the most staunchly transphobic person. I wanted to change them just with 3 minutes of an internet video. That's not necessarily possible, but I realized who this series was for. And I was talking to my sister-in-law, and she told me that she had never met a trans person before, and that my series had introduced her to 6 trans people. Sometimes all it takes is just a start. And that, coupled with the fact that I am openly very gay on the internet, thank you, this leads to some consequences. And I think it's good to be transparent with you all about what those consequences are. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was all going to be blocked out. But he just decided in 2 words to tell me that I was gay, and thank you for the reminder. This Twitter user said gay.wave, not an MP3 file, so not to brag. The video starring Dylan Marin, I had made an unboxing video about toxic masculinity, and then he linked to the video, and then he started a test, or a quiz. On a scale of 1 to grids, gay-related immune deficiency, which is the original word for AIDS, how gay is Dylan Marin? 3 options. 1, we know that's not true. 5, T-cell count dropping, or 10, full-blown grids. And this was on for only 3 minutes, and it had already gotten 24 votes. Okay, so this started with a slur. I'll let you guess what it is. Rhymes with maggot. Go ride with a cop and pull someone over in the hood and be the first guy to approach the driver's window, and then wanted to, you know, make me feel bad with another word. I didn't realize so much would be blocked, so bear with me. I had made a video critiquing police brutality. Jimmy, again, hey, rhymes with maggot. You should go be the change you want to see and apply to be a police officer. Now, this is interesting, right? Jimmy is potentially trying to start a dialogue and saying that I should go practice what I am preaching against. I recommend to all of you to not open that conversation with hey and then a slur about that person's identity, but that's just me, okay? Brian, were you born a female dog, or did you just learn to be one over time? You're such, again, love these rhymers, wanted to rhyme with maggot. And my favorite part about Brian's message is he accidentally slipped and sent me a thumbs up emoji. So now, forever in my inbox is this beautiful duel. And then, kill, lots of L's, yourself, you victim complex having female dog boy. I love gay people, but people like this, no matter their gender, race, or sexuality, should be put on an island to die. And that was after a 2-minute video I made that satirized heterosexual Pride Day. And he thought I should no longer exist for having made that video. So I'm sharing these with you to be transparent and to be open about what the reality is of the world, but also to say this is kind of the material I'm dealing with. In the same way I just explained to you that I was getting no's from agents who were telling me that I was talented but wouldn't get work, and I didn't understand how that worked. And just in the same way that I was wrestling with the idea of how to tackle the HB2 law, I found ways to kind of bring this out to a bigger platform beyond myself. So I recently started a podcast called Conversations with People Who Hate Me. And rather than tell you about it, here is a little video to show you what it's about. Thank you. So that was a way to take something that was really painful, that really, just to put it plainly, sucked, and to kind of see how it could be a starting point rather than a dead end. And that's essentially how I see a lot of my work. A lot of my work is taking things that once hurt me and kind of making them, opening them up, making them more accessible to other people. So, what does this have to do with you, you might be asking? Maybe it has nothing to do with you. I don't want to speak for you, and that's okay. But what this has to do with you is that I really encourage you to really go through these next 4 or however many years that you will be part of this institution or this journey, and I want you to dedicate yourself to finding ways to take the things that hurt you, specifically the things that hurt others, and finding ways to talk about them. That's just a start. Just talk about them, right? In these conversations I have with people, I'm not necessarily looking to radically change their political beliefs, right? I'm not looking to change who they voted for, and I'm not looking to change their opinions on what's going on in the country right now. I'm only trying to listen, right? And you all have such an incredible opportunity ahead of you. I mean, what you have is you are surrounded by thousands of people who think differently from you. Nothing is cooler than that. That is amazing, right? You have the ability to engage with people who see the world a different way. You have the ability to engage with people who might have come from an entirely different background. You know, don't use that as a dead end. Use it as a starting point, and just promise me that you don't start a conversation with a slur about their identity. So thank you.
Give it up for Dylan Marin. Come on, you can do better than that. And for Mercy Music. Let's hear it, UNLV. Come on. That was so amazing. So, what you've just experienced in the past 20 minutes or so is a microcosm of what you can expect when the Emerge Music and Impact Conference comes to Las Vegas this November. My name's Mike Henry. I'm the music curator for Emerge, and I just want to start by expressing our gratitude for being here with you today. As I was driving over, I was thinking about how rare it is to find an event like this, and to find a day that really is truly dedicated to a love of creativity and of wanting to be better and wanting to do more, and to that desire that we all have inside of us to know what the next thing is. And what's cool about it is that's what we've created Emerge to be too. So I'm glad to get to tell you about it. There's 3 ideas that came to mind that I want to share about Emerge that I think you'll be interested in. The first one is that Emerge, at its core, is a platform for discovery. We are curating this event with a team of 25 people from across the entertainment industry that I'm blessed to work with every day. And the experience that we're designing is one that we can all come together as a community and hear the voices and the music and the ideas that we believe are going to change the world. And that's a big idea, I know that. But I think from what I've seen today, I think that this is a group of people that can get down with that idea. My second thing that I wanted to share with you is that Emerge is all about emerging talent, okay? Emerging bands, emerging ideas. Guys, if you're new here, you live in Las Vegas now. So let me tell you, there are lots of places where you can go and you can see really big shows with really big artists in really big spaces, and it is really fun, and you should totally do that, and that is not what we are at all, okay? I think that shows like that are fun, but what they're doing is they're presenting the things that you already know. And they're showing you the stuff that hits you every day and that hits your social media every day. And what Emerge is going to do is show you what's next. Third idea is that Emerge really was made for you. It's true, we made this for communities and cultures that are just like this because you guys have self-selected, but by being here today, by the commitment that you made, by the pledge that you just took, we know that you're a group of people that does care about creativity and that you are very, very interested in next generation ideas and art. And guys, I just want to say, in the world we are living today, you look at what's happening in the world around us, this world needs you more than they ever have. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring. Thank you for wanting to be more and for wanting to know more and for wanting to know what's next. And have fun. And congratulations for starting this journey. And for sure. And we just hope that you will take a little bit of Emerge with you and you'll let us be part of that journey with you. So let's talk a little bit about it. I want to tell you about the event. This is 100 bands and 100 musical artists. Okay, that's a lot. 100 DJs, bands from all genres, from rock to hip hop to EDM to country, all across the genres. And then we match that up with 30 amazing thought leaders and speakers, groundbreaking ideas, and we put those things together. So what that looks like from the music side is you get to meet new bands that you didn't know before, like our friends in Mercy Music, who you will get to see play that song like 300% faster as a full band in all of their punk rock fury instead of the sort of more sensitive emo acoustic version that you got today. And we match them up with artists that I'm going to bet are already probably on your Spotify. People like Billie Eilish and K-Flay and Mondo Cosmo. And then on the speaker side, you get to meet people like Dylan, who we all just got to meet together, who was awesome and is expressing new ways of seeing the world and new ideas. And then some of those new ideas are also going to get explained to you by some more familiar faces, like Imagine Dragons and Cascade and Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance. And I'm pretty sure that when I said Imagine Dragons, that's when all of you woke up, and that's cool. I'm fine with that, because they're speaking at Emerge, and that's completely amazing and cool. Hey, how you doing? Hi. So there's those things are all happening, and we put all that together, and we combine it, and we mix it up. And this is not the kind of event where you're going to see, here's the music over here, and here's where the party is, and over here, here's where the speakers are. And you guys, hello speakers, you're so cute, we're so proud of you in this far less cool place, have fun talking to each other. That's not the way we do it. This is all mixed up and mashed up and put together. It is showcases that will feature bands, and speakers, and digital content, and visual art, and spoken word, and robots. Guys, we totally have robots. I swear to God. Where's the engineering school at? Because we have musical robots that are 15 feet tall. They're going to blow your freaking mind. I'm totally serious about this. So this is our whole concept is about blended programming. We're going to be the first event that shows that entertainment and education are equal, okay? We want you to be dancing and learning in the same rooms. There's no need for separation. So, moving this right along to the end, I'm going to tell you that we are A Beautiful Perspective. Please put that into your phone, abeautifulperspective.com. Check that out later. That's our digital content platform. Other cool bit of news, we are moving on to campus. We're going to be your neighbors. We're going to be working with you. We're going to be working right alongside you. And to celebrate that, we are going to put on a show for you on September 7th. Okay, free show on Pita Plaza with one of my favorite artists, Jay Som. And at that show, we are going to give away some tickets. We'll give away like 10 pairs of tickets to you guys. Is that cool? I mean, you're college students. You need to really embrace your need for free things and stuff like that. And good Lord, I'm so rude. This is my friend. This is my dear friend, Nicole Rudder from A Beautiful Perspective. Nicole, this is all of my new friends. So, hello.
Hi, friends. It is cool, but this is even cooler. So we are so excited to be here and be a part of this community that every new student that scanned a ticket to get in here today is going to get a free ticket to the Emerge Music and Impact Conference.
Oh my
in
God.
November.
Nicole
So-
is so much more popular than I am. I'm going to go stand back here in the corner. And
Awesome. So thank you. Thank you
Count.
to the university. Thank you so much, everybody UNLV Creates. You guys will see you really soon. We can't wait to get to know you. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
All right, you all. So it's almost time for us to wrap things up and whatnot. Before we get into that, we got one more thing happening. You know, we all up in here. We gotta do the fight song, y'all. We gotta do the fight song.
If you all
So
could remain
please,
seated for one moment, please,
welcome me
to
and
wait to be
join
dismissed.
The UNLV Star of Nevada marching band. They about to hit the fight song for us, so y'all get ready for that. Y'all make some noise for them. All right, y'all, so as the program comes to an end, we're gonna ask that you all please remain seated as the faculty proceed out of the building.
Thank you very much for attending UNLV Creates. Students, please remain in your section so you can be escorted to your college welcomes. Faculty and staff, you are welcome to exit following the band through the Cox Tunnel. Faculty and staff, you are welcome to exit following the band through the Cox Tunnel. Students, please remain seated. You'll be escorted out to your college welcome.